Is this bike, the FZ-09, a beginner bike? Hello. Goodbye. Wyoming. Welcome to Wyoming. What is up, guys? Woodster 72 here. Got another video for you guys. So, what are we doing right now? We are going to town and I'm getting a new tire on my motorcycle. So I only got about 4,000 miles on this tire, and you can already start to see some of the wires shown on the center of the tire. So I went ahead and ordered a new tire, and I'm gonna have somebody else put it on since I don't have the tools for it. So that's where I'm headed right now. So today's video is about, is this bike, the FZ-09, a beginner bike? Now, my experience with motorcycles, I've rode some dirt bikes back when I was a little bit younger. Not a whole lot, but I've rode some dirt bikes, and I used to have a small street bike, a 250, and that was before I even had a driver's license, let alone a motorcycle license. And I didn't even ride it that much, but this is my first street bike. It's 849 cc's, I believe, or 847. Now, most people will say you shouldn't start on a bike bigger than a 250. Well, in my opinion, I think you should start on whatever bike you want to. But one thing to keep in mind before you go out and buy a leader bike, or a 900 like this one, or even a 600. Obviously these are, three of the bigger bikes in the street bike class, and you need to be ready for it. You need to know that if you're going to get one of these bigger bikes, that you have to be responsible and mature when you're riding it. That's the biggest thing with riding. These bikes are going to have usually a higher top speed, more power, and they're more unpredictable because of how much power they have. Now, my experience in owning this as my first street legal street bike is excellent. I've had it since February of this year, so we're not that far away from, a year. We're probably around 8 months, is it, I think? And I haven't had any wrecks. I haven't had any problems with it. Now, like I said, you need to be ready to be responsible when you're riding, and you need to be ready to be a mature rider. That means you're not going out, you're not going as fast as you can all the time. You need to learn how to just enjoy your bike, for what it is. You're riding a motorcycle, you're on two wheels. It's going to be, when you're riding on two wheels, it's always going to be more dangerous than four wheels, because you have a balance factor, and you have, you can fall off the bike. You can, if you get hit by somebody, you're going off the bike compared to a car. Now, those are obvious things, but what's not so obvious, if you haven't rode before, that I've learned since I've owned this bike, is the power. Sure, the bike is smaller than me, right? I weigh, 265 pounds. But I'm way bigger than this bike. How can it, how can it pull me around? Well, that's called torque and horsepower. Doesn't matter how big you are, it's still going to move you around like a little doll. the most important things you need to ask yourself if you're a new rider and you want to go to a 600. If you want to go to a 650, a 700, a 750, you know, anywhere from 600 and up, you need to ask yourself, are you mature enough to be able to control yourself on something this powerful? Now, I've watched a lot of "Is this a beginner bike" videos, and some people will, you know, kind of say what I said. You know, you need to be responsible and mature. In my opinion, I don't think it's that you need to have biking experience to get a bigger bike. You just need to know that you need to start out slower. You need to start nice and slow, you know, give it a couple months before you do anything too crazy on it. That's all I'm going to say. So is the FZ-09 a good starter bike? It's hard to answer, but yes, it can be a good starter bike. It's an all-around good bike. It is in the 900cc class. It's considered a 900cc, but it does have different riding modes, which there is definitely a difference in the modes. It's at a great price, which attracts a lot of new riders. Now, even if you do start on a smaller bike like a 250 or a Honda Grom or a 300, you know, 500, any of those bikes, you're still going to have the same challenge. As, you know, they still go fast, they still have some power, and that's just part of biking alone. But specifically, anything over 600 cc's, you got to be smart and you got to ride smart. Worcester 72 out.